We are still at it, making the most of our weekends and making it count by way of introspection. Not letting a week pass without breaking down the weekend that was. Pick out a thing or two that you learned and hopefully apply moving forward. Hey, you too can do the same in whatever format works for you. May it be a journal, a regular catch up with a trusted friend, or just like me through this little podcast project so that I have a public deadline, else it can disappear in the busyness of life. My last weekend was spent with family in a theme park, Enchanted Kingdom. Find out what I discovered in this make-believe world. Anchors away.
Catch-up sessions.
It was my company's family day. Bring your +1, they said. Well, I brought my +10. After throwing the invite in the family Facebook Messenger group chat, I'm sure most of you have one of those, probably in WhatsApp or Viber. It was initially ignored and brushed off, because I get it, EK, really, that's for kids, they initially said. I had to give a gentle nudge a few days before, and from zero to hero, it became a full van of mostly grown-ups that ended up going. And by grown-ups, I really mean senior citizens in the theme park. Imagine that. I got there way ahead in the early afternoon, hoping to bump into workmates. It's the work family day after all. But I guess the theme park was much bigger than I thought it would be. So walking around with no map in hand, it was like being transported into one world after the other, just a few steps away. It was nothing short of magical. In my head, at least. There's this charm of the attempt to bring you to a different place in an instant, and that somehow appeals to the kid in me, or the grown-up even. And that's what these theme parks really hope to achieve. So you can be in a different world, free of the troubles of your daily reality, even for just a moment. And for that, I appreciated the walk around. I maybe spotted just a couple of people I know. Cap would have been nice and a good idea, so that's a top tip for the next time you wanna get enchanted for the weekend. As soon as the family came, that's when my mood visibly started to shift. I don't know, it could be the sense of responsibility, which I had nothing before, which I wouldn't call a burden, not that it's heavy. I was just trying to get them inside the theme park, for crying out loud. But it is a weight, nonetheless, that people are relying on you to deliver something. I just imagine now the kind of responsibility parents have for their kids. They are supposed to let them ease their way in, not in the dreamland of make-believe, but in a world filled with sadness and fear, judgment, and all of the stresses that comes along with it. There's hardly any break too once you're in that role. It's an always-on responsibility. So, if you are a parent listening right now, rearing a child in this big bad world, kudos to you, and I'm doing the hand movements to salute you right here. Or even if you just accepted responsibility, whether willingly or not, for another soul, that's an undertaking. If you can, please find your enchanted weekend in whatever form of carefree living, an alternate reality where you can take your shoes off and live freely. I don't know if it's just me, but when I'm around my family, I have a higher probability to be in a state of annoyance. Triggered by the simplest things too. Either an uncalled for comment, indecisiveness about what to eat or where to go. I guess it's the familiarity paired with the permanence. I mean, I feel like if that happens with friends that you choose, you can simply unchoose them for the next time around. But with blood fam, you know you're pretty much attached for life. But with that also comes this nice, comforting feeling that you get when you're around family, knowing that whatever it is you end up doing, they will be there for you. And while that's not true for all families, I'm sure we've seen that, it should then be a reminder that this family that you get to keep is a gift. And the relationship that was formed, thanks to that common strand of DNA you share, should, well, continue to be watered like a seedling, so you can allow it to flourish into a tree that will eventually bear fruits, new seeds of the next generation. One of the highlights of this EK weekend, apart from the EK exciting rides that allowed my soul to leave my body, if only for a brief second, in those crazy drops, is one simple item on offer: pictures. I usually shy away from those because, for sure, they're overpriced. 300 pesos for a single photo, really? But one I couldn't let pass was a last-minute Rialto ride as the park was about to close. It comes along with a photo right before climbing up the stairs. It was the full siblings photo with nephews in tow. It, to me, becomes a nice little core memory for keeps, and a reminder how, while we're all grown up now, yes, very much so, we're still kids of the parents I'm blessed to have, in all of their imperfections. You are who you are today because of your parents' love and sacrifice. And for me, I just reimagine now how they've been carrying that looming weight of responsibility that I was talking about earlier to see me through this world. And for that, my love goes out to you, fam. I may or may not have shed some tears in the middle of drafting this little weekend wrap-up. May the introspection then trigger you and me to be a little more kind and understanding of the little quirks each member of our family has. Perhaps just imagine how much patience they had to give and endure, exercising for the moodiness you yourself, I myself, bring in to the mix. And for that, again, my love goes out to you. Catch another weekend project wrap up. It's my thoughts on Ayala Museum during the People Power anniversary. That's next, right here on Catch Up Sessions with Mark Laguna.